Hey guys and gals, Kevin, your budget travel guy here. And if you follow this channel and if you're a subscriber, you know I usually try to be pretty upbeat and positive about most things anyway that happen on the road, and as I'm showing different travel videos and different tip videos. But today's is going to be just a little bit different because there have been 3 bad incidents I can think of just in the last few weeks. So we're going to go over each one of those and what we know and see what we can learn from those. Okay, this first one appears to have happened a couple of days ago. 2 people died in their van. Now, I'm assuming this was more of an urban camping thing. A lot of the details aren't out yet, but they were in a camper van. And what they do know so far is whatever happened when this fire occurred, these people did not get up and get out. You know, the doors were basically locked from the inside. And I think a lot of us get pretty careless out on the road, and you know, because we're in such a small space and we don't think about these types of things being able to happen. But fires do happen. You're dealing, you know, with these bigger vehicles with more advanced systems. You have a lot of wires, you have a lot of big wires, you have propane you're dealing with, a lot of things that can go wrong. And even if you're doing small camping just in an SUV or a minivan like one of my vehicles is, and keep it pretty basic, you still have these same problems. You've got a lot of electrical stuff running, and we're all jacking stuff into 12 volts and trying to add more outlets and more of this and more of that and more propane and being able to run fans at night. So you have a lot of things that can go wrong. And obviously the 3 things that everybody needs in every vehicle they have is you need a fire alarm, you need some type of carbon monoxide detector, you need to make sure both of those things have good batteries and are working, and you need a fire extinguisher. One other thing you need is you need to make sure you know how to get out of your vehicle, because you may have different little lights and solar lights and LED lights and different things at night, but just like in your home, you really should practice this about once a year, figuring out how to get out of your vehicle in total darkness, knowing where the locks are and the latches are. And if you've seen my builds, you know I like to keep things pretty basic, and I have a lot of space. Not everybody adheres to that philosophy, and I've seen people on the road, man, they barely have enough room to crawl into the middle of all the crap they're carrying. And if something goes wrong at night and they're that packed in and there's a fire, that thing is going to go up quick, and they're just going to have nothing but a few seconds in order to get out. Now, the second and third things happen is almost the same stories. And again, if you follow this channel, you know I travel in 2 vans. I have the little minivan and I have the larger van, the Road Trek. One group I'm in today, a man managed to set his on fire, and kudos to this guy. I'm not going to call him out, but for actually coming out publicly with what he did wrong. And this applies not only to the Road Trek, but any other Class B and basically any other RV that has these built-in 2-way and 3-way refrigerators. They're made to run on 120 if you're plugged in. A lot of them will run on 12 volt going down the highway, but they don't do that well with it, so they run off of propane. And because the 12 volt doesn't work real well, most people just leave them running on propane all the time, even though that's not what they were designed to do. And they're driving down the road, propane feeding this fridge because it makes it work a little better, it makes the stuff stay a little colder. And they're stopping to get fuel, and of course when you stop to get fuel you should turn your propane off. Well, one guy pulled in, apparently according to him, he pulled in, he turned the propane off, but he didn't think about propane already being in the line, he didn't think about the refrigerator already having its burner lit, went to refill the propane, fire happened. Luckily he got it put out, didn't sustain a lot of damage. The same can't be said for this other one, which you'll see from these pictures. because these people suffered a total loss. This was also a few weeks back. They were also refilling propane, something very simple. Don't know the details of exactly what this set this one off, but something went wrong during the propane procedure and the thing went up. Now keep in mind also with these types of vehicles, these road treks are hard shell vehicles, and this van from the fire, the first video I showed you, is a hard shell, metal shell vehicle, even though they both have the fiberglass roofs. A lot of companies, the whole back end of that thing, instead of being metal like a van, it's fiberglass, or it's wood, or it's some combination of the two. Those things are going to go up quick. They're going to, they're either going to burn or they're going to melt. One of the two things is going to happen. So I'm not trying to give anybody anything to worry about, and if you're not quite into this yet and you're just watching videos and thinking about it, I certainly don't want to scare you away, because these aren't things that happen a lot. But you need to be aware that these things can and do happen. And you need to take precautions. You need to know how to get out of your vehicle. You need to be carrying those 3 items at a minimum to make sure you can handle a problem that does come up, or at least be awake enough and conscious enough that you can get out of your vehicle and get away from it. Because you can't explore and you can't adventure if you're dead. So I want to stay alive. I want to see you guys stay alive, and I want you to have great adventures in your future like I'm going to try to have in mine. So with that said, we'll get back to some more positive topics in the next video. Stay safe.